corporate AI is waking up and is copying OpenClaw. That's the news of the day. So what we've been seeing is this OpenClaw, this multi-agent AI open source system. It's just growing at a speed that is unbelievable. We never saw in the history of human an open source project growing as fast as this one. Now, this is clear signal. It means it's doing something completely right. And what it's doing, the corporate AI, meaning OpenClaw, no, meaning OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, Google Gemini, and so on, they are not doing this. So what they are doing, they are waking up, especially after the NVIDIA CEO saying that OpenClaw is the future. Okay, Agentic AI is the future and people want to have it and use it. They want to use the kind of tools that allow them to be more productive and more agentic. Now, the copy that they're doing, this corporate AI, what they're doing is, okay, they are copying, they make it more safe. To make it more safe, that means they need to trim the ability of this OpenClaw and grab all those elements that are there present inside the OpenClaw and add to their system. So we saw Anthropic adding the ability to control cloud code via mobile phone. Then we see ability to do not control the browser, or that one was already there, but to control the computer, having access to different parts of the computer, and so on. Start to go more towards what OpenClaw can do. But also they added some elements that are extremely important. That is in OpenClaw is called heartbeat and crons. Those are action connected to overtime. So heartbeat happen every half an hour and can trigger functionality, and the crons are things that can be added at specific time to run specific elements, including like an alert, remind me to drink water at 5 p.m. Or do serious stuff. Okay, the point here is those time elements are required to an AI to stay more agentic and carry on working. Because what we saw with OpenClaw, that we could allow this AI to work overnight. So I was doing this every single night before going to sleep. I would just during the day I would collect the list of things that I didn't want to do right then and there, but I would list them and then give it at the night and say, look, this is the to-do list for tonight, get it done. Okay, loved it. Okay, you would wake up in the morning with a lot of work done. It wouldn't work the whole night, because the funny thing with AI, that is so fast that in 4 or 5 hours we do everything. So it's always it could have done more than I asked to do, but nevertheless it was a lot of stuff. It's true also that sometimes it would stop working for whatever different reason. So I built this ResonantOS to allow the AI to actually carry on working. But I'm going to explain later. But the point here is those elements are required to an AI to work properly. Now we see Anthropic adding all those elements. So and now we are here. The narrative is Anthropic killing OpenClaw, and there's always people say, yeah, he's doing it. It's so much better, so much better. In reality, we need to see the truth here. If you are a corporation and it's your business, what you want to do is to stay safe. Okay, so as a corporation, to my point of view, make more sense at the moment to have cloud to do the work. Okay, so use Anthropic, different parts to do the work. Because somehow there is a feeling, at least there is a feeling of a structure behind. Someone is responsible, someone to blame. There is a structure that you can say, this is done by Anthropic, the top tier AI for corporation. And you can't say the same about OpenClaw, open source, full of bugs, and with full of virus on the skills marketplace. So you can say the same. But this is the appearance, okay? But there is something behind that we need to understand. One, it's your data goes to Anthropic. Okay, you need to trust what they do with it. You need to, trust your client, trust you to trust them. It's a lot of trust going on in a scenario where AI is being trained on data that didn't belong to anybody of them. Nobody get paid for using the data, training data, and so on. And everybody just ignoring the bigger problem of privacy and so on. So my thinking here is OpenClaw. It's true that you need to have the skill to manage it better. It's much more dangerous because it has much more power, can do many more things that a corporate AI can offer. But with that power, there is a lot of responsibility. So if you're one of those people that don't understand anything about AI, don't want to understand anything about AI, just want to go there and prompt AI and get some work done, OpenClaw is not for you. Probably nothing is good for you, because AI at the moment is so unstable, so little trust you can give to the AI, that if you don't understand, probably you're giving trust without understanding, and therefore it's dangerous. But in that scenario, anyway, it's more comfortable working with a corporate AI. Now that I have OpenClaw, I don't see the point ever again to go back to a corporate AI. The limits that they put on you, the black box that you are forced to work with, that you can't see inside. Okay, you can't edit anything. You can change how actually it's built, and if there is something inside that you don't even know that is against you, you don't even know. When I say against you, is, for example, you're trying to follow one specific protocol for your specific scenario, but inside that black box, there is something that doesn't go along with your protocol, and therefore you're always fighting, always problems, and you can't fix it because you don't even know exists the problem. I mean, you see the problem as an output, but you don't see where is the problem. So I'm completely tired about that kind of scenario, and I'm moving more and more towards open source and places where it's more where I have my agency and authority over it. Okay, so ideally, in the ideal world, would be to have a local AI, open source running on my own computer, or open source model running on my own computer. That would be the ideal scenario. Okay, I never have to touch those corporate AI ever again. The truth here is that the hardware that you can afford buying, it's doesn't allow you to have extremely powerful model. There is no workaround, but there is a strategy on how to create a mix between the two reality. So where you have some local model that do some work, and corporate AI through API, so those LLM through API working for you. When I say through API, there is also a contract that like monthly, contract where you pre-purchase tokens, therefore they are much cheaper. But there are those two approach: open source, corporate AI, and open source over cloud. So you pay someone to run the hardware. There are those three reality where are divided basically in two, because one, your data is staying on with you, and the other is it goes online. The one that goes online is faster. The one that stays with you is slow. But so if that is the characteristic, not the major, but it's one of the major characteristics, it's about speed. Then you can divide the work that you need to do in real time. So the chatting, let's say, okay, the one that the AI interact with you, that part needs to be fast, and therefore it's better to use the cloud AI And then you can say there's a lot of work that can be done not in real time with you, but they can be done, for example, overnight. It can be done on parallel and so on. So that work can be done locally. That is a huge, already different kind of architecture. So we don't always need a super fast, but we need an AI that actually can work properly and freely on my data, which I wouldn't feel comfortable to give to a cloud AI. So already we can see a separation, okay, not in real time and total sovereignty and total privacy. In real time, but not total sovereignty and definitely not privacy. So you see the difference now. Okay, now we can architect something. My memory, where should I go? Where should stay on local? My business plan should stay local. My experiment, my learning, my things should be stay local. If you start writing, what I'm trying to say that if you start writing, basically everything should stay local. That is the correct thing. That you start understanding. Okay, if everything stay local, how can I interact with the real time, with the really fast, really powerful AI? That is the challenge. Okay, so each one of us needs to make that decision. Unfortunately, with the technology that we have now, with the power of AI that we have now, with the reality we are at the moment, it's a compromise. Okay, some people don't want to take this compromise, and it's gonna run 100% local. Some others, they don't care about this. They just give everything. They don't care. Yeah, take my data, train on me, and so on, and they're gonna give it to the cloud, to the corporate AI. I think my position here is it's not even 50-50 because the change of scenarios, change of the work. But like I said, some is going to be done only locally, and some is going to be done at need speed and a real high intelligence are going to be done on the cloud. That is the personal decision. At the moment, that for me is the best strategy to use both of them, especially because the cloud one, it's also cheaper. Okay, it's still money, okay, but it's so much cheaper than buying hardware. So how I'm gonna now explain my plan. Okay, so I have some hardware that I'm running, but I'm just bought more hardware because I want to have this local powerful AI. So what I'm building is this AI lab that I can use to run experiment, do things locally. Of course, learn, but I have this project in mind. Okay, that I had it for years now, and I couldn't do it because I don't trust giving my data to the cloud, first of all, to the corporation, and second, the amount of data that I need to give is so much that it's gonna be, it would be too expensive to run. So there is these other elements. You see, there is another element on this side. Is the size of it. Okay, when you have a lot of things to do, that it become too expensive. Even though they are cheaper, but then become too expensive if it's a lot. So as long as you stay within some limits, the limits of your contract, the limits of the basic element that you want to do with this AI, it's all good. But if you have something huge, okay, like the experiment that I'm going to explain that I want to do, you need something local because it's going to pay itself, and then more. Okay. So what's this AI lab? So first, let me explain my architecture, what I have at the moment. I own. I started with my Mac Mini, that one that I already had. Okay, I created a virtual machine, and inside that virtual machine, I installed OpenClaw, and I had OpenClaw running virtually there. But running virtually means it can have all the power from the Mac Mini, and therefore it couldn't do exactly everything because there are some local model that you can run on a Mac Mini if it's free to actually, even the basic Mac Mini, 16 gigabyte of RAM and 256 gigabyte of all gigabytes. Okay. 256 gigabyte of hard drive. So even on the mini one, you can do a lot of things locally, but in virtual machine, no. So my virtual machine, At one point I said, okay, I really like this OpenClaw. Now I test it for a couple of weeks. Now I know that I need to give it a proper computer. So I bought a Mac Mini Basic. At the moment you can find a really good deals on internet. So I bought that one. And now my OpenClaw with ResonantOS, which is the system that I'm building for it, runs on this local machine. True, but because it's not powerful enough to have really powerful local AI, it's connected through AI, through API to those cloud models. But locally runs two major, really important models. One is for audio to text and text to audio, run locally. So I can talk, I can send audio messages to OpenClaw, and OpenClaw will do some work. And the other one is the one that look after the RAG memory. Okay, they go and retrieve and organize this memory, long-term memory. Okay, so those two AI are there already. There is some saving and already some privacy. Now, to do the higher level work, I need a lot of different models. Okay, and the best way to do it is to have a contract. Okay, so monthly subscription, so you pay less. So I have a few of them because one will be enough. I have a few of them, and some other AI that run through API. As a main agent, okay, the orchestrator, your main agent of OpenClaw, you should put the best AI that you can afford. Okay, that is you will do some math and decide, okay, I can afford this one, I'm gonna put it there. Okay, and then for the rest, you should look into a solution that is more affordable, because the other AI, there are some elements like the heartbeat. There is a lot of AI inside that need to run the system, that run constantly the system, but they don't need to be so powerful. So for that one, I use Minimax M2.7. Okay, that is the model. I have a subscription for it. It's I paid $200 for a year, and now I have this AI that always work in the background. For the coder, at the moment I use codecs running with ChatGPT 5.4 codecs through subscription, and all you need is the basic subscription. Okay, the basic, I mean the $20 one. With that one, you can have the use of codecs, and therefore you can do coding at high level. And if you think about, there are two $20 a month subscription, $40 plus whatever other AI that you want to use for your main AI. And if it is ChatGPT, it's included. If it's Minimax, it is included. If you want to do something through API, whatever you like to do, or whatever other subscription, you can do it. Okay, but let's say with 20 is the minimum that you spend. In reality, you can spend even less, even $10 a month. But if you're kind of serious, you're gonna use it a lot. Okay, so if you start to look in those terms, you can go around between $40 to $150 to $150 a month. That is, for some people, they can say, this is a lot of money. Okay, and it's true. At the same time, if you see what you can produce with that AI, then $250 is nothing. It's really nothing. But like I said, with $20, $40, I think honestly, I would, if I was new to this, I would start with these two AI, Minimax and ChatGPT. Okay, $20 each, you are really good position. You can do a lot of work, almost never finish the token, and you have really high quality OpenClaw solution. Now, this is all good. This is the system that I had at the moment. Works, it's fine, amazing. It's not enough for me. Okay, I want to do more. I want to do more, and I want to do those ideas that I had for many, many months, years, that is require much more privacy. Why I think that privacy is needed? because this is not just about sharing knowledge, okay, sharing data. Okay, for example, just to say example, I don't want to share my photos, I don't want to share my video, I don't want to share my audio, I don't want to share my books, my business plan. That is data. Okay, you share your data. But there is another thing that is happening now. When you work a lot with AI, you're not sharing your data anymore. You start sharing your mind, the way that you think, which is a completely other level. So while they might know, this is what this person eats for lunch, this is where he went to holiday, okay, they are profiling you. Okay, they are collecting this data and profiling you. And it's not good, it shouldn't be done, but it's not the end of the world if they are just that kind of level of profiling. It's a different thing when they know how you think. So if they know where I've been, the food that I like, and so on, they can advertise me with ideas, okay, with things, the product that I might buy, okay, holiday where I might go. If they know how I think, they know how to manipulate my thinking. So they already can do it through this profiling. Okay, because if you've been watching this video, if you've been watching this movie, if you've been reading this book, if you're buying this product, you go inside a category of people. So, and they know through millions of people, they can start creating much more advanced profiling. Maybe they are not 100% precise on you, but they are really close enough to start creating manipulation over you. Now, it's not precise enough. But the moment that they know how you think, that is not precise enough, okay? That is total accuracy. That is total control over your mind. And that thing, you shouldn't give it. That thing is too much. That is we already passed the threshold, okay? By giving our data, we already passed the threshold. It's too much, but we got used to it. And then we are kind of trapped in that kind of scenario. Now we need to go into this other scenario where we don't go and we don't give our reasoning. That cannot happen. But giving AI, having access to our own reasoning, to high definition data, we can do a lot with it. Let me explain what I'm trying to build. So for years I've been thinking about this, but I couldn't build it. Now I bought these. Basically, what I bought is the NVIDIA GTX Spark, but equivalent. Okay, so not the hardware is the same because it's created by NVIDIA and just built inside a different box. Okay, this is from Asus, and the advantage is that Asus put just there is a version with 1 terabyte of hard drive, which you can change it if needed. Okay, but if it's not needed, you basically pay almost half of the price of the NVIDIA, which is insane. Okay, so with half price, you can get the same quality. If you change the hard drive, instead of paying thousands of dollars for that just a hard drive, you just pay maybe I don't know. It depends how big you want it, but you can go up to 1,000. So it's still much cheaper than buy the NVIDIA version. So I got that one because it was on sale and was such a good deal. And I said, okay, I have been thinking about doing this for years. This machine is not out for years, but my project was there for years. Now there's this machine that can do it. So boom, I bought it. And it's coming this Saturday. But let me explain. So what's my plan? So my plan here is to extract as much as data from me. Okay, this is in form of audio, in form of what I'm working on the computer, anything. Okay, so I'm gonna record. I do my recording. Roughly, I do half an hour, 1 hour recording a day to save my thinking. And but now I can give it to this AI and allow this AI to work on it. So think about if you just to give an example. Okay, I keep recording for 24 hours. Every time that I think something, I can say loud and get recorded. Okay, and all collecting all my thoughts, which I have a lot of them. Okay, collecting all my thoughts in one single place. then connect also ideas of even, for example, if I collect what kind of YouTube video I've been watching today, what kind of TV series I've been watching, what kind of books, which I don't read, okay, but what kind of books I might be reading, or what kind of music I've been listening. So all those things are all data. Okay, so we as a human, we create an insane amount of data, and we could record it and then look into patterns. Because if we put this data connected to a specific time, then I get, for example, I got this ring. Okay, through this ring, I record my, how you call it, bio, whatever, okay, my stats about my heart, the sleeping patterns, and so on. So I record all those things. So I can put it inside this AI, and I'm not gonna share with the corporate. It's just gonna stay local on my machine. Together with, for example, how is my heartbeat going while I'm recording this thing? How my emotional going when I watch that kind of movie? Okay, all these data can connect to each other. And then I can start, thanks to the AI, to see elements, okay, symmetries. And for example, look, I noticed, or just an example, okay, that when you go to sleep earlier in the morning, you have better ideas. Okay, now you have an incentive to go to sleep earlier, for example. So there is data that it can be extracted from me, then analyzed, processed, and then I have a chance to make a data-driven decision. Okay, about my life, about my business, about my idea, my creativity, and so on. This is huge. So that is something that I wanted to do for many years. Just grab my data out of me and then process it, experiment with it. That is the beauty, okay? This is the idea of an AI lab. Okay, it's a place where you can experiment. You can create custom, fine-tuned model that can do specific functionality. So what's the point of fine-tuned models? So to a large model, the one that we get from corporation, are good at a lot of different things. Okay, they can do a lot of different way of thinking, a lot of knowledge there. But a custom one, a small one, can do one specific thing really, really well, better than the large language model from corporation. Let me explain why. For example, when I'm talking, I have this Italian accent, okay? Because I'm Italian, I got this Italian accent. So what's happening when I talk with AI? Normally, some words the AI misunderstand. Okay, start to hallucinate and say, okay, I think that Manolo said this word instead. I've said something else. Now, if I train that little local model to actually understand my accent, it's not going to make mistakes anymore. It's going to translate everything correctly. Okay, so the transcription of what I say is going to have, each word will be understood correctly. This is huge. That is just an example. Okay, so that small model that is going to be able to run locally, that is going to be extremely fast, extremely cheap, can beat the large language model from corporation. Even the biggest, the massive one, cannot be as good as that one that is being trained on me. You see the difference? So now, when I have my lab, it means I can actually train a lot of different AI models to run some specific task without the OpenClaw. Okay, so those tasks means they're gonna be done by super small model completely in the correct way. So meaning less friction, because I don't know if you experience, but the corporate AI, those every single model, what it does, they have a kind of bias. Okay, they are biased towards some way of working. They like to do things in a certain way, and that's most often, and at least in my case, the way that they like to work is not in line with the way that I like to work. So that creates friction, but it's not positive friction because the AI cannot learn, so it's never going to move from that position. it's going to hold on that position. So the only thing that you can do is to create a structure, an architecture to make AI, to force AI to behave in the way that you want, because it's not going to be able to change. Okay, we have no way to change the parameter inside. Therefore, there's nothing you can do. It's just going to be something that is always going to fight you. Now, a local model that it can be trained instead, can be learn your way of working, can learn your protocols, can be biased basically towards your creativity, DNA, your identity, or whatever job you want to do. So that is this is huge. So having those specialized mini agents that can do exactly the work that you want can be really, really powerful. Now, this is the experiment, okay? This is the theory. Now I need to apply, okay? That is the journey. So in this channel, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna go through this and tell you what I'm learning and share my thoughts, my understanding, the challenge connected to this. Now, I understand that some people cannot do the same because doing it is expensive. Okay, it's not extremely expensive. So this machine, I paid it, I think in dollars, I'm not totally sure, but something between $3,500 for this Logo AI, which I think the NVIDIA version is 6,000-7,000, something like this. So it's depending again with taxes and not taxes. I'm telling you the price with taxes, but that is the thing. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but it's still in my case I could have afforded it. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm not saying you should do the same, even though will make sense for a lot of us. But what I'm saying here is this is the direction where we need to go. We can't carry on working with the corporation because their agenda is not our agenda, and our agenda it's completely different from their agenda. Okay, so we are in this state of friction, and they are amazing in manipulating ideas. Okay, they have been always doing this. So think about the idea that now everybody think that AI has this PhD level intelligence. Okay, they do benchmarks, they do a lot of things to tell you, look, this is a PhD level intelligence. And then you start believing, okay, this must be true, so many people are doing so many things at this PhD level intelligence. And then you if you work with it, you know that it's not true. It's completely far away to be PhD level intelligence. And it's not even, in that niche, in that specific element, is a PhD level intelligence. No. What is you might find in some specific area that is a PhD level knowledge. Okay, the knowledge are there, so knows things, which is different from being intelligent. Okay, because the intelligence, think at that level, is completely different. What we have is an AI that has a PhD level knowledge in some areas and idiot level intelligence. Okay, that's the reality. So in another video, I told that our job is to cover this gap. So as bad as whatever level you are, so as I can't find the sentence, but as good as you are in covering this gap, and the better the output will be. Now, the other day I watched this another video of I can't remember his name, Ross I think it's called, and they had this podcast, invited this PhD woman talking. So I don't know if you saw it. There's this woman talking about AI intelligence and life, what is alive, and so on. Amazing. Okay, that you see that woman thinking at PhD level. Okay, and then if you think, okay, that is the PhD level thinking. Okay, that is it. Okay, if you watch that video, you will see. Okay, that is a human thinking at PhD level. So now think about to do the same discussion that they have in that podcast and with an AI. Okay, think about any discussion that you have with an AI. It's never, 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 and never even be close to have a PhD level discussion with an AI. So if you haven't, if I find the link, I will share it. But check the video. Okay, you see a PhD level human. This woman is amazing. Okay, what it does? It's true experimental, true going, against everything else to find her own truth. That is PhD level. Okay, this is research, real research. Okay, real thinking, real exploration. Here, pioneering. Okay, that is it. And now get an AI, put it there, and have a chat, and it's the opposite. It's the opposite of a PhD level intelligence. Okay, it's just a lot of knowledge in a really stupid, idiot level AI. No offense for AI, I don't like to offend, but the idea of using those words probably trigger and make understand, okay, that is the level. There's no misunderstanding. That is the level. That is, I don't know what I'm saying this thing, but the point here is through having a custom AI, building your own fine-tuned system, you can have basically moving from idiot intelligence to something higher, which is a simulation in the sense that it's gonna reason better within your specific case scenario. So a small model will do better, be more clever in resolving a specific case scenario where AI is being trained on. While a large language model from a corporation with its super powerful one, get the most powerful one, they will struggle dealing with something that they are being not fine-tuned to. Okay, with something novel. They won't get it. Anyway, so this is what I'm building. For those that are new to this channel, there's a few things that I want to share, and one is I'm building a community. Okay, this community is building together a DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. What is this DAO? Why is it important for AI? Is because this work by corporation of building an AI that replaces human is gonna sooner or later be able to do it. Okay, so that is the journey. They've been investing billions in achieving this, and we start seeing that is happening. And some countries more than others, some sectors more than others, but we see this happening already. Now, this is on an acceleration curve, and it's gonna happen. There are more money getting in, and more incentive from corporation to achieve an AI that can replace human. Now, there is no plan B about this. Governments and corporation, they don't, let's say, care to find a solution. Governments are just distracted. They don't even understand that this is a real problem. And corporation is not their job to fix this problem. What they're doing, they inform the population and the governments and say, look, this is what we're building. Do something. That's it. Okay. They're going to do it. They're going to succeed. Now, there is this second narrative going on top. They say, which for me is ridiculous. Okay. So AI is going to be able to do any human job, and we're gonna build robots. They're gonna do also any human job in the physical world. So that is the goal that they have. At the same time, they have the guts to say, but what is gonna happen is that the human gonna find different jobs. Okay, different jobs. Like, okay, so you didn't succeed in replacing human. Because if the goal is to replace human in every single jobs, okay, be able this AI to do everything, to be as good, if not better than any human, how is that possible that then a human gonna find a different job? What kind of logic is there? Okay, there's no logic. Again, it's probably this this gap that they created, and probably because it's part of them. Okay, but that is the logic. Okay, that is the new narrative. Yeah, there's gonna be new jobs for humans. Reality here is, if they succeed, there's not gonna be any jobs. So the world is going to do a massive shift. Of course, while they are not succeeding, there's going to be different jobs. Okay, that is true. Okay, AI is going to be able to replace some work, but because it's not good enough, it's not PhD level intelligence. Okay, and because it's not good enough, it cannot do everything. So those things that AI needs a human to work together. So as a kind of partner, human AI combo, that might be new jobs. For sure, this will happen. So think about human AI combo kind of a reality, and that will be the new job until the AI will be able to do it by itself. So the transition is going to be in this way. Why we need the DAO? The DAO is to do what the governments are not doing. Okay, to build the alternative. How do we build this alternative? The alternative is built in a lot of different layers, but let's talk about the major ones. One, we need an AI that allow us to be augmented, sovereign, okay, in control. So ideally, the local AI, this AI that can augment us, and we are not captured by the corporation. That is one element. Another element, we need an economy that can sustain us. Okay, and it's possible, and it's doable thanks to blockchain technology. For people that are new to this blockchain technology, it's the same technology that is behind Bitcoin, okay, and all the NFTs, all the scam that you heard. But if that technology doesn't disappear, if it's still there, it's because that technology has a value and resolve a problem that cannot be resolved otherwise. So if we remove all the risk of the scams, all that kind of a culture, and we just look at this technology and how to use this technology to resolve a real problem, now we have two elements together. Okay, the one is the blockchain technology and the other is the AI technology. We can leverage these two most advanced technology together with the human collective intelligence, 3 layers, to build an alternative. Now, I've been in blockchain for many years. Okay, I started in 2013, and I've been doing consultancy. I've been designing token economy and so on. So I'm not like new to this. And of course, I've been victim of so many scams that I learned about all of them. So what I'm now designing is this new token economy that take advantage of everything that I learned in the past, that take advantage of the AI, and now we can achieve to build something that is completely different. And that can build, we can leverage the corporate AI, the AI that we have locally, the collective intelligence to build the alternative. That is what we're doing with this community. So the community at the moment is, there are 650 people, something like this. It's on Discord, so link in the description. If you stay until now, okay, now we are at basically 43 minutes. If you're still watching now, it's because you are part of this. Okay, that is clear. You are part of this. So what I'm suggesting doing is join this the Discord. Every Wednesday we have our community call where we talk about this, and now from this week every Thursday we're going to have a community call as well. So 2 days dedicated to this. Inside the community there are people that are helping with the different part of the community, so helping us building the community itself, so looking after the community and so on. And there are people that are helping at the moment with the development of the code. Okay, so there's the AI expert and coding and so on. So if you want to be part of it, this is it. Okay, this is the moment. And what we need is much more. Okay, so think about at the moment we have these two reality, but there is so much more to do. So first of all, of course join, but read the Augmentatism manifesto, and you can go on augmentatism.com and read the manifesto. This is the manifesto that drives us to build what we're doing. If that resonates with you, then it's clearly it's your journey. Okay, clearly if you think like you can change the world, that is where we are doing it. Okay, we're doing collectively. understand one more element about the DAO. Okay, because one of the biggest friction is always, okay, who owns things? Okay, who is the owner? Who's the boss here? Okay, the DAO is decentralized, meaning the people that join the DAO start owning everything. Okay, so we are building this ResonantOS, which is a system that runs on top OpenClaw. Okay, they allow OpenClaw to work as a sovereign AI that it gives a lot of things. Okay, resolve a lot of problems. It gives the wallet to access the DAO, and that one, it's as soon as you join, it's become yours as well. Okay, so it's co-owned. So there is been investing hours and hours, okay, of building this. I mean, hours from human hours, but also tokens from AI to building this. And you join, you start on it, you start contributing, you start building with us. That is what we need to do. This is the shift that we need to take. Okay, understanding. Okay, that is the direction, and it's clear. Okay, I mean, if you didn't realize that what I've been explaining is out there, is happening in real time, and we are on an exponential curve. The things are gonna go faster and faster, and I mean, if you haven't noticed this thing, probably you already left, okay, this channel. But if you've been here, probably you know. This is what is happening. This is where we're going. Okay, and there is no other option. The only option that we have is to build it ourselves. And it's not like, it's going to be someone building it for us. Okay, no, it's going to be each one of us contributing in a way or another to make this happen. First contribution that I'd like you to do is like and subscribe, of course. Okay, we need to make this channel grow. Let me know your story, comment below. Let me know if you believe in this. Let's engage and connect. So this website, this YouTube channel is like the lighthouse, okay, sending signal to like-minded people. Okay, most people think that after 7-10 minutes of the video they give up. Okay, that is the majority. Then there is a minority of people that stay until the end. Okay, now we are 46, almost 47 minutes. Okay, this is a long video. This is a massive filter. Okay, this is a massive filter. A lot of people have give up. Okay, at the end of those videos, you see the extra step. Okay, the step that if you've been until here, and you see how much I'm dragging this, okay? Because I want to really filter out the people that are not part of it. But if you're until here, if you're still listening, if you're still believing this, that is you, okay? This is your call, okay? We want you to join this, okay? We need you to build this together with us, okay? And together we can do it. Now, I want to thank every one of you. That is really a small minority at this level, okay? Everyone of you that is still watching. And thanks again, and like and subscribe, watch the next video, and see you on Discord. And on this, today is Wednesday, okay? So today at 20 p.m. Central European time, we have the call. So if you join Discord, you will find all those calls. And one more thing, there is a deep dive article that explains everything that I explained on this video, connected to in the description. This is probably the longest video I've ever done, and hopefully it's gonna land. And thanks a lot again. Ciao.